Welcome to Talk Sport. I'm Việt Nga. As we all know, it's infrequent for Asian drivers to compete at Formula One. Most of them are Japanese, so it will definitely be difficult for Vietnamese driver. But extremely hard doesn't mean impossible. So today we're gonna meet a young driver from Vietnam who started his passion for speed at very young age, at 10, and dreamed of becoming Formula One at the age of 14. For more details, give it up to Doug Pham and his father, his inspiration and his coach as well. Thank you for fitting interview into your busy schedule. How are you feeling right now?
A bit shy.
A bit shy?
We were excited.
How was the last exam? Was it good?
Yeah, I had to study online in my house for like 4 months, but luckily I passed the exam and I think I did great.
We'll talk about how you balance between the practice, karting, and studying, but later. For the first time, I heard about Doug. It's like 2 years ago through the words from my friend, who is a very famous manager, a Vietnamese football player. I feel like very curious and very impressed. And at that time, the first question jumped out to my mind is like, was any kind of sport like this in Vietnam? Why hadn't been popular yet?
Well, you know, motorsport in Vietnam is having a very limited culture. It's true to say that Vietnam doesn't have motorsport at all up until 2017. Where a group of friends of mine and we started bringing karting to Vietnam and we will start practicing. And this sport is very extreme and quite expensive as well. And maybe that is the reason why this sport is not making a place in this country just yet.
So I just wonder how you have an idea that investing in sport like this for your son.
Well, to be honest, this came as a unplanned. Honestly, it started as a hobby for myself in my time during university back in the UK. We went out and doing karting with friends quite often. And then when we arrived back in Vietnam a few years later, then we started karting as a hobby. Then one day I took him and he saw it. And he tried the kart, and that's how it started. When I first brought him along, and we had a small cat at the back. No one used it because it's for children. It's a mini. When he decided to have a try, and then we say, okay, let's fix the cat and see if he can do anything with it. So we repaired it and put a new engine on, and he just got on and drove. Of course, first few runs was slow, obviously, but he improved. After a few months, we can see the improvement from him, and we think, okay, that is something we can do with a young boy at the age of 10, and if we can give him a proper coaching, he will improve. And then that we start planning for him to be going into this sport more serious. I don't think it's a talent at that point in time. All I could see at that time was a young boy with a passion to go fast. And to me and to the team, it's enough. And that's the reason why we push everything for him. And for myself, I stop my karting and divert all of my resources into him. So I stop driving and then give everything to him.
So like you put all your dream and your hope upon your son?
Yes, that could be said, yes.
For you, how long it took for you like to get familiar with the car?
First time I saw a car, I a bit scared, but all the noise of the engine made me excited. I was only 10 back then. I had never driven a car, but when I got into the car, all those feelings disappeared. For me, it's like 2 months for me to...
Just 2 months?
Yeah. For me to know and drive the car like very fast, you know?
Actually, I haven't driven a car before, but I saw a lot of my friends like driving car in the weekend for fun. But if you pursue, it's gonna be like professional sport. It's costly, isn't it? You know the way to burn your parents' money.
A lot of money.
It is, yes. You know, if we compare this to other popular sport like football, boys only need a pair of shoes and a ball and a space so they can start practicing and playing football. But for motorsport, it's not that easy because motorsport is an extreme sport and very dangerous as well. So all the protecting gears have to be proper, up to a standard, international standards, and it's not cheap. From the helmet, from the glove, for the racing suit, everything would have to be imported from overseas. You have to have a race track to run on as well. So in Vietnam, it's not popular. So far in Vietnam, we only have Dai Nam in Bình Dương that we can do that. So it's already a difficult start for a young boy like him to be serious in this sport.
One more thing, as parents, you definitely care about safety. So why not other sport that's safer, like golf or something else, but racing?
Well, we all know that parents want our children to be successful in life. And a lot of parents want their children to be a doctors, a lawyer, or investor, or bankers in the futures. But not everyone can be a lawyer, right? Not everyone can be a doctor. There's some other professional in the world as well. So sport is one of the things. We never know if a young boy or girls, when they start at the young age, and we don't know who they will become in the futures. But sometimes I feel like parents is pushing their children to the path that they think they want, but oftenly they forgot how their children want, who they want to be. I saw that from friends and others, and I said to myself that I got to do something different. So I asked him, you know, if you like this sport, go for it. Whatever you do in your futures, that's fine with me, so long that you push all your effort and you try your best in that would be enough for me.
My dad not put any pressure on me, so I just have fun when doing kart. And once when I met your friends, your Vietnam football manager, he asked me, do I like football or karting? In that moment, I don't have the answer for that question. After many of the race in Thailand and Taiwan, and when I met him again, I had the answer, and I said to him that I really like karting, so I want to be the professional driver.
I want to know your feeling while driving. What is the best part of it?
The best part of when you're driving is you overtake someone, you pass someone in the corner. It's very cool. I very love it.
Have you ever made mistake from this?
You can't answer it.
Well, as a parent and also his coach, I have seen a lot of mistakes from a young boy like him. And of
So
course,
greedy, right?
yeah, well, when people make mistakes all the time,
Right.
and not to mention the young boy at the age of 10 and 11 go overseas and race again international driver, they made mistake. There's no problem with that. But the problem is if you made a mistake and you didn't learn about it and not to make the same mistakes again, then that is a problem. You ought to learn from your mistake. So to me, after a few races where he made a mistake and we sat down and we talked, and we can have a conclusions of at the age of 10 and 11, young, you made a mistake, you learn from it, but then you overcome the feeling of losing and then aim for something better next time around. Then we ask ourselves, if that is an opportunity for you to learn from a very young age, that would help you a lot in the future. When you become older and you get to do another job, or you go in life, you already got the lessons before and you are prepared better for that. So the chance for you to be successful will be a lot better.
So how was your first impression for the first attempt competing abroad?
Actually, I don't have any impress.
Really?
For my first race, apart I couldn't speak English well, but my dad helped me to understand what the coach wanted me to do. Luckily, my mechanics is Vietnamese, so I can speak with him, talking with him, asking him to change any setup in the car. Yes.
But you forgot one thing, that you crashed 2 weeks before the trip to Taiwan. Remember that? The trip to Taiwan was very difficult to organize because back then he didn't have the racing license. So a lot of paperwork and help from my friend in Taiwan to get him a temporary license for the race. Then 2 weeks before the trip to Taiwan, we was practicing here, and he was racing a scenario with my friend who's an Irish. He was a bit greedy going into the corner with the guys, and at some moment he lost control of his car. He slid off the track and hit a curb, so the cat jumped up in the air and spun. So it was like right in front of me, and I rushed to where he was, and the cat was upside down, and he was having his leg hanging up. And then when I arrived, I looked at him. He was laughing.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but it hurt my leg.
So it's just a small lesson for a boy like that, right?
Well, a week after the accident, we thought that the trip is over. If he got injured, we couldn't go to Taiwan. But then a week later, he came back on his cart. Of course, his cart is completely a write-off. We got to borrow another cart from friends, and he used that for practice. And he got on the cart, and then he driving again like nothing happened.
Now I understand why you're laughing, because there's the only one choice at that time that made your dad cool down, not
so,
got mad at you. So tell me about the best memory when you compete overseas.
It was the last race in Thai Championship. I was in P11 in the table and trailing few points behind the British boy. So I need to finish in front of him in the race, and I qualified in front of him. I finished at P4 and he's like in P5 or P6, I don't remember it. But I finished in P4 and end the season in P8.
Did you even surprise about yourself?
Yeah, I am.
How about you?
Well,
Did you surprise about his result?
we were surprised, to be honest. At first, when we started the season, myself and the team in Taiwan, we target this season as his first season would be that for him to go and learn. But over the course of the season, we could see his improvement, so we adjust our target from learning to getting into top 10. And then he ended up finishing P8 overall of the season over 22 drivers, which is very impressive for the first season. So we were very happy.
So it's really the big improvement, right?
It is. We could see it clearly, yes.
With such a busy schedule, competing and practicing like that, I just wonder how you balance between the practicing, complete yourself, improve yourself, and balance with studying.
So in the weekday, I had to wake up at 5:30, do some exercise, then I go to school. In the evening, I play football, and then I go back home, eat dinner, do some homework, and then I practicing the simulator. In the weekend, I go to Đại Nam track to practicing karting, and yeah, just it.
I feel like there's no times off. Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
maybe.
When I start giving him that timetable, he could feel a little bit hard, but you know, it just happened so naturally. I don't see him being pushed into that. I see him enjoying it. Yes, I see him enjoying it. So, you know, it just. I think probably because he has been doing it for a long time, and now he get used to it and don't feel there's any burdens or pressure of doing all of that.
It's different to the many kids right now because they learn too much. You have to study too much, go to the extra classes, and no time for like social activities. But with the dog, it's very different because he's loved doing that.
Morning.
What you doing?
Yeah, it's a bit of work.
You want something for breakfast?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
What do you have?
I have a sandwich and egg.
Right.
Liverpool won last night at Central.
Last night?
Yeah.
First leg?
First leg.
Not the second leg. How's the doing it in the Premier League?
Second in the table.
Second in the table.
Yes,
Ooh,
yeah,
see?
table.
Milan is now top of the table.
It's good for you.
Yeah. We won Inter. Come on, yeah. So you don't have milk for the breakfast? Where's your milk?
Let's get it. Have some milk?
No, I'm fine. I had my coffee already. Back to school tomorrow?
Yes.
So you're usually doing like a day off and day on and day off, yeah?
Yes.
How about the other at your school? They do the same?
Same.
Okay. How's the preparations for the exams?
Not now. I'm going to play football in the evening. You want to come to me?
I got to work.
So, my mom going with me to Đà Nẵng. It's good.
I don't know if your mom's coming, so you need to talk to her. Ask her if she's coming.
I think she's lazy.
Yeah. So what do you want for dinner tonight? I can make pasta.
Yeah, it's good.
Send mom a message so she can get some stuff for pasta tonight. Remember to send her some message.
Yeah.
Have you texted your mom?
I am.
Okay. Sometimes you need to have a look at this one again to see the mistake that you made. You didn't start very well, and then you drop back, and then we can see the air box came off. I think it was lap
I don't know how
3 or 4 or something. Well, because you forgot to check your car before you go.
I thought the mechanic is dead to me.
Yes, normally he would do it for you, but I don't know how many times, but again, you have to check your car yourself before you go out. Remember that.
Okay. Mom said, can we pizza today?
Pizza?
Yeah, she wants.
So you change from pasta to pizza? Or she
Yeah,
want pizza?
She want pizza.
Okay.
What did you know I'm here?
I do. Anyway, pack up. We need to go.
We still have pasta tonight.
Still as planned, we got pizza tonight. Or pasta.
So, how do your friends react to that? Like, looking at you as an idol or something?
I think I'm not an idol in my school. I just want to keep my racing point. I don't want to be so shiny in the school or something.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
I
very,
don't want
like, grading boy
Yeah.
on the track, but very shy boy at the school?
In fact, it's different story.
So, who's your idol on track?
Actually, I don't have any particular idol. Yeah, he's one.
You forgot.
But in the fact, I really like Carlos Sainz, the F1 player from Ferrari. I like the way he control and drive a car. It's very good, very smooth.
Did you know that it's very rare for Asian drivers to compete at Formula One? And so for Vietnamese, it's quite a long way to go. How do you think about it?
It's very true, because in Asia, apart from Japan, where they have a very deep cultures of motor racing, the rest of the Asia, we don't have such a culture. Therefore, the sport is not developed in those countries. And especially in Vietnam, we didn't have it until now. We started having it. So, because it's a very expensive sport, a driver needs to have a lot of financial support, in which I don't think we have it right now in Vietnam. Not many big companies willing to sponsor a talent to go up the ladder in the motorsport. But we hope that in the future, company can see this as a serious sport, it's a serious business where they can promote their brand and investing in young and talented driver from Vietnam. But of course they have to be talented first. They got to be fast.
So I feel like it seems to be a game just only for wealthy families when investing in such a professional sport like this.
I think it's true as well. In the past 10 years, Formula One and motorsport in general has become so expensive, and therefore it limits the chance and opportunity for others. It's only those with a wealthy family or big financial support can get into the sport. But this needs to change, and I'm sure that the federations, the FIA, and also the Formula One community is trying to change that so that it can give opportunity to more people, more young boys to be able to get into the sport and shine in that sport. I'm sure it will happen in the future. Things will change.
So recently you just got scholarship because the achievement in competing abroad with go-karting, right?
Yes, I am.
What was that and what does it mean to you?
I think it's a chance for me to prepare myself to study abroad.
Oh, study abroad?
Yeah. I want to learn about the car dynamic and optimize the car design, or I can learn about the carbon composite.
Wow,
Many subjects I can choose.
A way like new vocabulary for me. You studied abroad and keeping your dream?
I am.
So how long do you think that you can push yourself to the next level?
Actually, I don't know how long is it, but I promise you that I can do it.
Wow.
I can make my dream come true.
I love that. I love how you're confident about your future, about your dream, because not everyone stick to the dream, stick to the goal, discipline to make it come true. And I think it's the good way to raise a man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what is your following schedule?
The plan for him this year's and next year's is to taking part in the CIK Academy in Europe. It was very unfortunate for us back in 2020 and 2021 where we got affected by COVID-19. We couldn't go to Italy, even though everything has been planned and everything's been scheduled for. We couldn't do it, so we're trying, and hopefully we will be able to do it this year. But for the longer terms, we don't know. But we understand that any plan can change in the future. We also believe that if the boy understand and know exactly where he wants to be in the future, then anything could happen. Of course, it's not easy for a boy at this young age can clearly define a target for himself. Then there is where parents need to come into the pictures, helping their kids to make a dream and making sure that his dream would come true in the future. So I think it's not only down to the man, to the boy himself, but I think it's also for the family to be part of that. I don't think relying only on the school, the teachers, can make that happen. The family is playing a very important role in that as well.
And the kids, day by day, got many choices for the future, and they can freely to decide and to make their own decision. So I think Doug or the boys or the girls like him who can make their own decision from their passion, they are the pioneer for the next generation. Thank you, Mr. Lân and Doug, for joining us today, coming to the show.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck for the next race.
Thank you.
Thank you, audience, for accompanying us along this journey. Stay tuned, and we see you next episode. Bye!